Good afternoon, friends, and welcome back to the Cozy Stead. My name is Cristin, if you're new here, and if you've been here before, then thank you so much for joining back in today, because we are gonna plant out this year's potatoes and onions, and I could not be more excited for it. So let me grab these. I also have this 5-kilo bag of potatoes, but I'm gonna come back for this one. And let's head out into the garden to plant these out. We are leaving for Rhodes, not tomorrow, but the day after. Today is the 21st of April, and my work day is over and my vacation is just starting, so I could not be more excited. I was actually going back and forth if I would do this project today, because we still get slight frosts at night. But then I was thinking the potatoes take some time to come up and the onions do too, so why not make use of the time? Because if you have such a short growing season like we do here, time is of the essence. Let's grab that other bag of potatoes and then I will talk to you about which varieties we are gonna plant. Okay, so I think we're gonna start with this bed here, which is, well, I planned this to be my designated potato bed for the year. I'm gonna do 1.5 beds full of potatoes this year, and this whole bed is gonna be the variety Solist. This is a very early growing potato. It usually matures at the end of July, very early August, I would say. And the taste of this potato is incredible. This is my favorite variety of all time. Then I gotta grab this other variety that I took from the grocery store, which is this one right here. The variety is called Jazzy. It's also an early variety, and this is a very waxy French variety. These are very good for potato salad, potato gratin, like a casserole or something. The other potato variety is basically an all-rounder, but these are more like hard cooking. And I've already formed some eyes on here. I kept them in my fridge. Just a little disclaimer here, when you're planting potatoes, you usually want to try to use seed potatoes. Those are guaranteed to be free of any viruses or diseases. If you buy potatoes from the grocery store, you plant them, technically you can do that, but there is a chance that they carry any viruses or something, so you kind of have to weigh out if you will be willing to put those in your soil. Kind of a good compromise would be to plant them in containers, so you could get rid of the soil in case they do have any diseases. But I checked them, they don't have any scab on them, which would be disease. They could carry some viruses, but I'm gonna risk it and plant these. I just really want some of these potatoes, and I don't have the container space. And this Jazzy variety I'm growing the first time this year. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Do you see these? How gorgeous. They want some of the potatoes. Oh my gosh. Hello. They're so cute. They're like dancing. Whoop! There they go. They're like dancing together. So cute. So in this bed, what we have here is some. Let me show you. We have some lamb's lettuce that is just coming through the soil in this bed. I did add 2 new bags of compost in here, and then we also have some volunteer chamomile everywhere here, because I've always had chamomile in this bed. And then some oriental garlic or garlic chives. I don't know, maybe I should transplant these because the potatoes will outgrow them for sure. But I think what I will do is I will just lay these out right now, and then we see I'll just get these out the bag first. And I'm gonna use the big ones up first because I don't know if this whole bag will fit in here. This might be a mistake because I'm planting them 3 weeks earlier than I did last year. Our last average frost date here is May 15. But I don't know. I just want to see if this works or not. I'm in zone 5A here, if you're wondering. And I also have some volunteer garlic here that, because this was my garlic bed last year, so some of it came up. Last year we had a bumper crop of potatoes, and I'm hoping for as big of a harvest or even bigger of a harvest this year. We'll see. We got about 34 kilos from one whole bed and one row of potatoes last year. It was insane. I'll pop the video up here so you can watch it if you're interested. It was so fun to harvest them. So we got these all laid out. I have not half the bag, but maybe a third of it left. So let's start by putting these in the ground. I'm gonna get down and dirty here on my knees. I don't care. What are washing machines for? Much more comfortable this way, honestly. So I'm gonna dig these down. I don't know how long this shovel is, but at that depth, I think 10 to 20 centimeters deep. And once they start shooting up, I will cover them with a little bit more compost. Last year, the potatoes were so tall, they ended up pulling themselves out, kinda. And some of them got a little green because of that. So I do wanna, or at least I wanna try to avoid that this year. And I actually don't have any fertilizer at home at the moment, so I've got to go and buy some. Because we are leaving for Rhodes tomorrow. I think it's fine if I don't fertilize them before we leave, but when we come back, I definitely do want to fertilize them. So, and I don't know what will become of this volunteer garlic here. We will see about that once time progresses. I think I might just harvest it for like fresh eating at some point. Oh, and if you're wondering what this white stuff here is, that is actually sheep's wool. I totally forgot that this is a slow release fertilizer. So they have some amount of nutrition. And I topped this bed up with fresh compost about 2 weeks ago, so they do have a good start, I would say. I just love growing potatoes, using potatoes in the kitchen. They're really one of my all-time favorite crops. Oh, I found a carrot that overwintered. Only one left. Kind of gave up on the shovel and just used my hand. Okay, bed number 1 done. Now we're gonna go to our half potato bed, which is this one here. This one had carrots and onions in it last year. And for some reason there's also volunteer garlic. Or I think it was because I put some of these garlic bulbils, which is from a softneck garlic. Softneck garlic can produce bulbils and you can plant them. And in the first season, they will produce a perfectly round garlic. And in the second season, they will produce the garlic cloves, as far as I know. So we are going to plant our jazzy potatoes. These ones here. So pretty. I think they have such a beautiful shape, honestly. and a very like nice thin skin as well. We're gonna plant those in here. I'm gonna lay them out first as well, just like we did in the other bed. Well, it's almost half a bed. I don't know, I could do, because I have some of the Solis variety left, I could honestly do some more rows of those. Should we do that? Why not? Oh, and by the way, I potted some of my peppers this morning, and look how gorgeous these look. I have never had peppers looking this good and like tall. I sowed these out in January, and I also brought out my dwarf tomatoes here. These are cherry tomatoes. I potted them up as well, and a bunch of other plants. And look how gorgeous this garlic is looking. We can top this bed up with some compost later too. I am planting onions this year, both from sets and from some plants that I've started from seed. Last year I did both as well, and honestly the ones that I started from seed did much better, even though I did not harden them off at all. Which this year I was definitely better at doing that. So I'm excited to see how our onion harvest will turn out this year. I've started a ton of onions and also a whole lot of different varieties. So I'm very excited about that. Oh, I found carrots! I actually found carrots. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Wait, I think... Oh, well, that's a potato that I just dug up. I thought it was a carrot. Oh, see, but there is one more here. That's so funny. Okay, let me see. Need to draw kind of a line where I stopped with the jazzy potatoes. And that one up there. There's another carrot, but that one's rotting. I guess we can let this one compost in here. Or I don't know if I want that in here. Kind of disgusting. Look what I just found. Look how huge this earthworm is. I just had to show you. I dug it up. Go back inside. Don't want the birds to get it. That's a good sign. And so I've made a little marker here to know where the jazzy potato ends. And I think I'm going to do about 3 rows of these Solis potatoes. I was just thinking maybe it's not such a smart idea to put the Solis in front of the jazzy, because last year my undergrad variety was a lot smaller than the Solis variety. It might have been honestly just the variety, but it can also be that the potatoes in the front, because the sun is coming from there, is shading out the other side. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see and learn. And there is a supporting beam in the middle here, so I kind of have to be careful with planting the potatoes, because it's not really good to plant them on the beam. And I found one of my purple carrots last year, and this yet another huge earthworm. I'm gonna gently put this here. It can live over here, no problem. Love to have you here, little guy. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this carrot. I think I might, it's still good to eat, honestly. But I think I'm gonna just let it compost in here, honestly. Give the earthworms something to eat besides my little branches down there. So we got all the potatoes planted out. I will go ahead and get some tags from my greenhouse, because I do want to mark them. Otherwise, I will probably forget. I mean, I could always go back and watch the video. That's really convenient, but still, I prefer to have them tagged. So I put my tags in here. I do have to kind of get a better marker because you can't really read it that well. But I know that Jazzy is in here and Solist. And then over here is gonna be full on Solist. I'm gonna keep these in my garage until maybe my garlic comes out. And I hope that I get to do a second round of potatoes with these. Never let anything go to waste. So now that we got the potatoes done, that is a huge relief. Finally, we got those planted. It feels really good right now. I hope it wasn't a mistake, but fingers crossed that we're good. And now we gotta take care of my onions. And friends, I may have started too many onions. We have a lot of onions. I think today I'm only gonna plant the sets, not the ones I had started from seed. They are looking beautiful, and some of them are even starting to not bulb up, but the bulb is getting bigger. They look fantastic. And I have a whole lot more of those in my greenhouse, but I fear that it's just still too cold for them at night. So we are gonna plant those when we come back from vacation, but I am gonna plant the sets today. These 2 bags here, at least some of them we can plant. And I will plant them here where I'm gonna do my pumpkin patch. Obviously not in the spots where the pumpkins will be, but kind of in between. And I just wanted to show you that we did start digging out the ground here, or digging up the ground here for the second in-ground bed. It will go here, and then there will be a third one here as well. But yeah, here I have decided will go all my Uchiki curry pumpkins. So 8 pumpkins in this bed. It's a really big bed. And I will do the onions in pretty much rows in between. Here's some spinach that overwintered and some parsley. I'm gonna leave those. By the way, I hope you can hear the bird song in the back. It just sounds beautiful. Okay, so we have 2 varieties here. This one is Stuttgarter Sternfield, and these one are a red onion, I believe. These are called Rosanna. They are not red, they are rosy or pink variety basically. Never grown these before. I've grown Stuttgart Giants before, but I believe that the Stuttgart Sternfield are a bit different. I don't know. So I'm just gonna dig a little trench here, not too deep, with my trowel, and then we're just gonna put those onions in. I had onions, I know it sounds weird, but I had onions growing with my pumpkins last year in this same bed, and they did fantastic here. I don't know if it's because the pumpkins give the onions some kind of wind protection, or I don't know what it is, but they grew pretty well together, I have to say. Ow. Should have counted how many onions I'm planting out here. I hope to have around 100 to 150 onions in my garden this year. I know it sounds like a lot, but we use onions every single day in our kitchen, every single day. And I can never truly have enough. Last year we had kind of an okay amount, I would say, but we ran out already in November. So I do want to stock up more this year. Okay, we just planted around 50 onions and we have another 50 to go. That's a lot of onions, I know. I am gonna do a little break. I think when I planted the potatoes, because I cut my nail super short the other day, I kind of hurt it underneath. I just want to go check it out because I kind of bent the nail on the supporting beam. So I'm just gonna go check it out, do a little break, and then we'll come back and plant these pink onions. Okay, I'm back from my little break. It lasted a lot longer than I anticipated that it would, but that's fine. My nail also seems to be okay. It was just that I cut it too short yesterday already. And now when I planted the potatoes, I kind of like bent it. And now the nail bed was exposed, so it was kind of painful, but it is fine now. But that's why I'm gonna wear gloves right now. And I will just plant my pink onions right now. Gotta get these stones out of the way. I almost had like an hour break because my mom called, then my dad called, but it was a very welcomed break, honestly. So we gotta count these onions. Now I do wanna know how many onions I am planting. I believe that the other ones that they were around 50. Some of these have sprouted already, so it's good we're getting these in the ground. And you want to plant them with the pointy side up and the more like rounded or flat side down. We have 36 onions here, and now because I do want to leave the outer space for the pumpkins, we're gonna plant the rest of them in the middle here. And I'm working against the sunset. I did sow asparagus here, but oh well. I don't even know if it will come up because the seed was kind of old anyway. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, wait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 onions in this row. How much did we have back there? I think 36, right? So we gotta find a spot for the last few of my onions. That's 60 onions. I just planted 60 pink onions and I think probably around 60 to 65 white onions. So we have around 100 to 120 onions in there. That's crazy. I have 5 little onions left here. And I think I might actually plop these in my greenhouse. Because why not? I don't know where though. The plants in here are thriving. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they are looking fantastic. I think when we come back from vacation, I'm gonna do our first harvest. We have this beautiful Japanese mustard here. We have some shelling peas, cauliflower, these walking onions, which I have harvested from already a couple of times. You know what? It's always really hard to grow stuff in that corner, especially now that the planting table is here. Things don't get so much sun there. But as you can see, I have some onions sprouting here. I will just plop them at the very edge, I want to say. And we're gonna hope for the best. I don't really care if these actually grow into anything, but If they do, I'm gonna be very happy about it. So we got all the onion sets in the ground, which so happy about that. By the way, here are my other onions. Like I said, I have a ton of onions this year. I'm gonna take the ones I put on my garden bed back inside, just because I think we will get frost tonight, so I'd rather have them in the greenhouse where they are a little bit protected. Right here. Okay, so what we gotta do now is I gotta grab my watering cans. We gotta close up those onions, and then we have to water in everything really well. And I think we're actually expecting snow at the end of this week, so it will stay moist. It's probably around like 2 degrees or something, so not really minus, but we are still expecting snow at the end of April here, which is totally wonderful. I'm joking if you can't tell. But yeah, we gotta close up these onions now. I did leave enough space for the pumpkins. I think actually kind of have to move this onion a little bit here. So my one pumpkin will go here and the other one around here. I just decided that I will top this bed up with, at least the side that I planted out with the potatoes, with some actual organic compost, just to give some more cover for the potatoes. Gotta be careful not to lose my tags. I think this will help them have really good nutrition. Although I have sheep's wool on all of my beds, and I am gonna buy chicken manure as fertilizer. I usually buy these in granules. Pretty happy with that. Just gonna clean up the edges a little. Looks good to me. I will add more compost to the other half of the bed once I'm back. And we are gonna plant out the onions and carrots together when I come back from vacation. I was gonna do that today, honestly, but I think it's still too cold. And I don't know about the forecast with the rain and stuff, because the carrots need to be pretty moist for the first 3 weeks. And we usually get some amount of rain in May, so I'm hoping this year will be like that as well. And we come back on April 28th, so it's still before May, still before our last frost date, but a little bit closer to it. So I'm gonna sow my carrots out then, and then also plant out my onions. And here's to hoping this will be a very abundant and happy garden season, not just for me, but to all of you too. So I am done for today in the garden. I watered everything really well in, not just what I showed you. I'm gonna grab my watering cans now, bring them back to the greenhouse. Then I gotta take these peppers inside. And I don't actually have to prep dinner today because I still have leftovers from yesterday. I did a pumpkin soup with some pumpkin puree from the garden last year, and it was the last pumpkin puree that we had. So I was very, very appreciative of it. Here's to many, many more pumpkins this year. Can't wait. A lot of them have germinated already from when we sowed them together in my last video. But yeah, I gotta get clean now, and I'm ready to relax a little this evening. One thing before we end this video, I want to show you my beautiful, beautiful daffodils. I think they look stunning. Look at these. Aren't they pretty? These ones are just opening. Then I have a lot of these like small ones here, which I think they are so cute. And I have some snowdrops still going, but they're kind of over now. But these little daffodils here, I do have some little ones here too. They are just so pretty. So cute. And I noticed also my sweet woodruff is coming back, which I am very happy about. This year might be the year that we actually do something with it. Oh, and a bunch of these pansies or violas self-sowed themselves. Really happy about that too. But yeah, enough me blabbering about my garden. I hope, if you made it this far, I hope that you enjoyed this video and spending some time outside in my garden with me. It was so fun, or it is always so fun to do these things together with you guys, and I am so happy that I get to share them with you. I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Your support means the world to me. And by the way, if you want to support my channel, you can do so by liking this video and commenting on it. That helps me, or that helps YouTube to kind of push out this video to some more people that also enjoy this type of content. I hope you had an amazing time spending the afternoon with me in my garden, and that you enjoyed it a little bit at least as well. And never forget, you are worthy, you are loved. I hope you have the most amazing day, and I hope to see you back on my channel next time. Bye!